It's Chris, and this is PMFM. No, I did not get any better about having decent sub plans. I definitely didn't learn my lesson from being sick that day. Fortunately, it was the last day. It was the only day that I was sick the whole year and had to take a day off. But it was also the last time that I had to request a substitute for any reason during that school year. So it never came up again, but that's also not to say that I ever got prepared, because I didn't. And it's something that I've been paying attention and looking for this year while working as a substitute, is looking for ideas of what I can do to have a go-to lesson plan working as a substitute. Today, I walked into a room where the teacher just had me play a movie, and it was very clear that that was not the original intention, and it was also very clear that this teacher had come prepared, that they had this movie, they had the worksheet already prepared, that this was something that they'd probably done in years past, is have this exact same movie, doesn't matter what else is going on in the classroom, but has this lesson. And that's something that most teachers have, is something to be able to say, I didn't expect to be gone, but oh my god, I cannot make a lesson right now. Do this thing. And it's not going to be related to what you're doing, but you will learn something. It'll be good for you. I did not have that at any point last year, and it's something that I want to have. And the thing that I've seen that I like the most is classrooms that every so often just take a break from what they've been learning and do something completely unrelated. And they do it about once a week or once every other week. The really easy example is when a class just takes a break to have an independent reading day. It's something that I've seen in more and more classrooms, is we just have a day to read a book. And you don't do anything else that day. You just read the book and you answer some questions related to that book. I've seen in science classes where they have these science magazines where they're reading an article and summarizing that article. A lot of social studies classes have a current events thing where they are in some way researching or often presenting on a current event. And it just interrupts the usual flow of the classroom, but it lets the students take a break. And the thing that I like the most about it is that oftentimes they're very flexible about it. It's not, you can't be flexible if you're a social studies teacher who said, okay, be ready to present on Friday. You can't then say, well, it's Wednesday and I'm sick, so you better present today. But you can do that for the independent reading day. You can say, if you need to go to your locker, that's fine, but today's going to be the reading day because I couldn't be here, so this is the easy thing for the substitute to handle. I really like that. And I don't know that I want it to be reading, but I want to implement something like that. It's not always possible. Most of the time that I've been a teacher, I've been pretty reliant on the other teachers to kind of give me an idea of what my lesson plan is going to be. Not that I taught in the same way that they did, but I taught the same things they did, and it meant that I was trying to keep up with them as well. And I've always, for whatever reason, fallen behind. I've been told that it's a common thing for a first-year teacher to do. I have tried to keep up, and none of the other teachers that I've taught with have had that kind of thing. It's really not something that I've seen really commonly until this year working in the Olympia and Tumwater school districts. And again, it's an idea that I really like and something that I want to implement. But the other thing I want to talk about today is the flip side of what I talked about in the last video that I'm experiencing this year, which is last year, the struggle was that I have to work every day. And even when I'm taking the day off, I still had to work extra hard the day before to get that lesson ready. And often I have to, if I'm sick, I'll have to still come in that day to get copies made, things like that. As a substitute, you have the exact opposite problem. You don't necessarily work every day, and if you don't work, you don't get paid. And when it's something like a spring break, which is coming up, then that's a whole week that you don't get paid. But at least in that case, I know that it's coming, I can plan, I can budget, so that I know, okay, next month I'm going to get 1 week less worth of paychecks. So I need to make sure that I've been saving to keep that in mind. So it's a little bit worse for that, but it's also means that there's that constant little stress of, what if I don't get work? What if I don't get work? It's only been in the last really month and a half that I've had a couple days where I didn't get work, and it is incredibly stressful to go to sleep knowing that I don't have a job. Wake up in the middle of the night, check my phone, and that's often when I can find jobs, but sometimes they don't appear. And then I get up in the morning and I start my daily routine and I am looking for work. And again, most of the time I can find a job. I went most of the year and I missed, I think, 3 total days from August to February. I think I missed 3 total days where I just didn't get work. I took some days off intentionally, but 3 total days where I did not get work. I've missed 4, I think, since then. About halfway through February to where I am in March now. And that's been a really worrying trend, especially as I'm getting close to the summer, worrying about, hey, I need to get a job for the summer, to be worried about, am I even going to get enough work right now to be okay? So future me, I don't know where you're at right now. I hope that you are working as a teacher and you have last year's problems, but if you have this year's problems, what else are you doing? I only just started realizing that I wish I'd been doing what I did in Kent, which is working at an after-school program as well, because I have a lot of free time and I'm using it, but I could be using it to make a little bit more money. I hope that if I'm working as a substitute next year, I have also found work at an after-school program or something to make a little bit extra money and make those days off not so bad. How are things?